People think that in order to have father wound or mother wound, you really have to have very distorted, pathological parents, right, that abandoned you or were abusive towards you, but it's not true. Any level of distortion, I said this to you, and oftentimes I give you this example because it's a good example. We can have mother wound from a mother that was very loving, very caring. She cared about us. She was there for us, but she was distorted feminine. So she had no self-love. She was a people pleaser. She was a doormat for others. She allowed other people to lie on her, to lie to her, maybe her partner to cheat on her. She never put herself as a priority. She was a servant to others. That's not divine feminine. And it creates distortion. It creates mother wounds. So really, really examine that. Really examine that, because you have both. You have both, which means that there was a distortion in both of your parents. Distortion that you need to heal. Maybe this is also why it would come from a father wound. I will read through the father wound. I'm guided to read through the father wound too in a moment. Maybe this is why you are now really, putting a priority and you see yourself as successful, because you understand success equals job and finances and right, you know what I mean. Let me read through this. Hold on. A father wound comes from lack of healthy masculine energy model, usually embodied by a father or a male caregiver. This wound can create hyperachiever syndrome, difficulty trusting authorities, self-doubt, and fear of failure and abandonment. You are being called to examine this one within you. Start from delving into the relationship with your father or male characters in your life. What was the quality of their masculine energy? Whenever we talk about these things, I always recommend you guys go to my website, and there's a section of divine love, and in this section you're going to find list of qualities of both feminine and masculine, both distorted and healthy. And if you are, I feel like this collective, you're not realizing this, it may really help you to understand this wound within you. It may really help you to understand what we have at the bottom. Heal your feminine. And I was hearing this. I feel you're very much in your masculine. You're very much, you wouldn't know this, but you're very much in your masculine. And we have goddess energy as well as your last card that came through. Goddess energy is really about connecting to your feminine energy, connecting to the female archetypes. I'm feeling guided to pull one card from this oracle. We'll see if we have time. It's really about tapping into that mother energy, that nurture energy, that feminine energy, and heal your feminine. I feel you are in that. There's a reason I deviated to this, but it may be a detail for some of you, but I am hearing that this was a little bit your model. A very dominant father and a bit of a dormant mother that accepted a lot, that wasn't in her feminine. That's why you associate as well femininity with weakness. So subconsciously you are in your masculine. You're afraid to be vulnerable. You're afraid to admit to your emotions. You're afraid to admit that you're heartbroken, that you... And we have this integrity and commitment. This was your first card. I'm hearing, but it's a masculine commitment, integrity, masculine trait, something important in the masculine. But how we, the foundation. Remember, we were hearing that there's something not right in the foundation of whatever is it that you're building. Let me read this to you. I'm guided to read this through. On our path of alignment, passion and internal fire are very important. We are given talents and passions as our compass, and we must follow them without questioning, as they are puzzle pieces in our mission. When we remain in alignment, we will always be divinely protected, and abundance will follow. Focus on working with dedication, consistency, and integrity. This is what I was hearing. It's making sense to me right now. I'm hearing that you do work with consistency and dedication, but your motivation is not your soul, your mission, your true passion. Your motivation is I don't want to trigger you, but that's what I'm hearing. Approval of others, to be this strong person, this achieved person, maybe approval of your father. Really dive into this topic, the mother and father. Go to my website and read about this. All right. As I said, I do want to tap into the energy of your connection with this person, so we know what we're dealing with. So let's see. What? Sorry. What's going on in this connection? What this connection is. One more. What do we have? The runner is the first card. The runner is the first card. Okay, we have paradise. Paradise. I feel like you do feel like you are in paradise with this person. I'm hearing you wouldn't understand why they're running. Why they're running. It feels so good. Sword and rose. Protection. You know, sometimes we don't understand. As humans, there's certain things that we want, and life is not giving these things to us, and we cry and we think that why, right? And many wounded people go towards that place. I deserve this, I want it, it feels so good, it feels so right. But what we're not understanding, the universe is protecting us, because part of that element of what we want, whether that's a person or, you know, a certain situation, it's not ready, it's not ripe. It wouldn't give us happiness. Coming to light, be lighthearted, change, heal. We have the dragonfly and we have engagement rings. Those were your two last cards. We're going to do another row in a moment. I'm hearing... I want to do another row. I'm hearing that with this commitment, I'm hearing that this is what you want. This is what you want, but right now this relationship didn't come to your life to bring you commitment, but to bring you transformation. The runner. Lightning. Maybe you didn't see this coming. Maybe when you met, because it felt so much like paradise, you didn't see that this person would. We have karmic relationship. Love call. Trust that the universe is protecting you more than anything. Sometimes we don't know what we want. You know, I always say this to the universe. And sometimes when we struggle to understand why universe does certain things, we are like children. Imagine you have a child and your child wants to stay up late, eat a whole jar of Nutella because it makes them happy. You cannot allow certain things. Certain things are just not good for them. You have to learn them. In that process, you teach them to take care of themselves, to understand right from wrong, what's good for them, what's not good for them. You cannot just give them what they want. And similarly, universe, it always has our best interest on mind. It's always protecting us. We have not today, and that's on top of that engagement ring. I feel you want commitment. I'm hearing that maybe, you know, also you are in this moment of life where you have this financial stability, right? Maybe you are at a certain age that you feel like I don't want to play around. I want to settle. I want to be with someone for real. But this is a transformation journey. Universe is trying to teach you how to create true stability, and real stability, it doesn't exist without emotional stability. It doesn't exist with wholeness within, feeling like I have everything, I need nothing. And I talk about this to you guys all the time, and I posted about this yesterday. I posted this video about healthy dating. How should healthy dating look like? As long as you're seeking something, you're lacking something. And it doesn't just go to dating. Validation, money, relationships, love, intimacy. It's all just vibration and frequency. When we're lacking, we're seeking. Yes, we can feel it when we're in our wholeness. We have everything, we alchemize everything within. We can feel it would be good to, be nice to have a partner, but it's not like it's gonna, completely make us, happy in another level. We're already happy. We're already happy. I'm hearing that, again, it may be just a detail for some of you. I'm hearing with this love call that maybe you will receive a call that will change everything. Maybe someone will call you to either this person or someone who knows you or knows them to tell you certain things. That's what I was hearing. I'm hearing, to be honest with you, more than anything, let's tap into the energy of this relationship currently in tarot. But what I was hearing, that more than anything, all you need to know right now is that universe is protecting you, and this relationship came to teach you something. So look within. Try not to put blame on the situation, on universe, on this person. Tell me about this connection. What's going on now with this connection? All face down. All right. We have the moon in reverse. Releasing fear, anxiety, trusting intuition. We have 9 of Swords. We have Knight of Coins. And we have Queen of Cups. I keep hearing, the same things. Sometimes, just like with this onion, and like with these layers, when we connect to someone that is going to change the course of our destiny, we couldn't know how it's going to end up. We couldn't know how it's going to look like in a year or two, because it would cause a complete confusion within us. Things have to be unfolded for us gradually. So right now, I feel it's going to be a slow journey for you to the connection with this person, the recovery, the healing of your broken heart. Right now, there's a lot of sadness. Every spread that we did, very heavy cards for you, right? The moon, the 9 of Swords. We have 5 of Cups. We have 3 of Swords 2 times. So there's sadness, there's anxiety, there's fear. But it's meant to transform you. It's meant to show you your shadows. It's meant to show you the side that you were really refusing to see. You've been through so many things in life. You've achieved so many things in life. Looking from a physical perspective, matrix perspective, right? But there's still things that you're refusing to see. And sometimes, again, I say this to you guys always, when we refuse to see over and over and over, the universe hits us with something that there's no other place to go but just self-reflection. Just to see. And I also feel that this connection is activating the soft side of you, the feminine side of you, slowly, but it will. And that's what you need to do right now. Remember, with with the father wound, mother wound, with connecting to your feminine. Laying foundation, confirmation. There's something that I keep hearing from, we have the Tower at the bottom of the deck. I feel this is a pivotal moment of your life. It's like you were building, the Tower is about that. This is why the Tower falls. When we are building something on the wrong foundation, right? And instead of noticing it, despite the life lessons that the universe sends us, but we keep building higher, higher, higher tower, but on a long and stable foundation, what universe does is just it crushes it to tell us, no, there's something at the very core, at the very foundation of you, of your perception of life, perception of world, that needs to change if you really want to build something beautiful. Universe does this to protect us, does this because the universe knows that we deserve to build something beautiful. So why would we not, they want us to know that the foundation is just not right. The goals that you have set for yourself in life, there's some distortion on that level. I feel this relationship is so enticing because it provides both for you. So it's both beautiful emotions. Maybe you feel like you do have emotional, connection and really understand each other's, when you are together, really like connect to each other's emotions, even though you don't maybe openly talk about them. And there's also fire. This is why you want to create. This is why you want to. But remember, I always say this: urgency. It's a distorted quality. Soul has no urgency. There's no true rush. We understand that when we build, we have to start from inner work, from healing, from deep self work, and then we're able to lay. That's the foundation for everything that we build in life. Our healed self, the one that really has the right values, the one that really processes the shadows, then we can start to set goals. I feel it may be a quality that you both share, that you surprisingly you both share, but you came to teach one another that it's not something that matters. But you would be someone who I don't want to say like the materialistic, but think about this. It's like thing you own, and those are the things that give you stability. Those are the things that give you foundation. Those are the things that you focus on, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. No money can buy things that truly matter in life, that are truly valuable. And sometimes, when we feel deeply connected to someone, or especially when we, are at a certain age that, we're no longer in our 20s, and we feel like the ego thinks like, life is precious, and one day it has an expiration date. We want to rush in, but only fools rush in. Slow and steady. This is also what the journey of healing teaches us. All right, I do want to pull one card from one of my favorite oracles for you as a guidance. So let's do that maybe to close. Let's do that. let's do that. I use these a lot and they're really magical, so let's give it a shot. All right. Give me one card. What is this collective? What is it that I need to know? You have to buy the big version. I'm going to struggle to shuffle the big one, but the booklet's going to be big, and I always struggle to read. We have the comic number 26. 26. Let me find that in a booklet. Hold on. Okay, got it. Let me read through this. The comic. When in light, hilarious, ingenious, spirited, easygoing. When in dark, sarcastic, harsh, drunk. Remember we mentioned this when I was talking about you and your person, that you're both wearing a mask, whereas your person goes more into seriousness and this boss sort of a persona, and you go more into it doesn't matter, right? The comic. To go deeper, images of laughing Buddha or stand-up comedy. Okay, let's read through this. The comic has plenty of shade to throw on others, and we also talked about this, that there's a need for deeper self-reflection instead of pointing that finger outwards, and it can fall into shadows at the drop of a hat. Beware of their sharp claws. Joy, jokester, and smiles are signs of a happy heart. Be wary of spiritual practices or teachers who leave the comic by the wayside. Laugh and laughter is a beautiful thing, and I always say this, that remember I mentioned this in this reading, that everything has a shadow and a light side. And a light side, when our soul is healed, we're just joyful. We're just, there's just this bliss and happiness and laughter. But when we are on the shadow side, we tell ourselves that we're just lighthearted, but in reality, this is I'm seeing my hyena card. This is our wounded self-expressions of things that we haven't processed, and we cannot express them, and talk about them in a mature way. Food for thought. Okay, I'm going to read through the whole thing now. The jokester, the clown, the fool. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as low brow or unsophisticated, these descriptions are so above my level. This archetype actually has a high advanced mind. Some may use the word genius, as humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as a material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stress and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage of the magician, working healing magic upon any audience will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep vision of our world, one pun at a time. I was also hearing, I feel like you have this within you, that you have this joy. Maybe you love stand-up comedy, maybe you're a jokester, but it's this foundation, it's this light in the shadow, right? Because I feel like what's missing is lightheartedness, and that's what I'm hearing, that currently whatever's happening in your life is trying to teach you lightheartedness, not taking things so seriously. So there's a big difference when we use humor to cover up our shadows, to humiliate others. And it's coming to my mind, a specific situation, but bottom line, when you are saying jokes that, people are subjects of these jokes and they're not laughing, they're not jokes, right? So jokes are jokes when they're lighthearted, when they come from a place of light, when everyone is laughing, and when it comes from a place of darkness, it can be hurtful, it can be numbing the pain, it can be you know, covering up for our own shadows. I feel you, this collective, you do struggle with vulnerability, and you cover it up with humor, and you cover it up with, you know, maybe you are very giddy, I'm hearing, and joyful, and a crowd pleaser. But in all this, there's this heaviness. There's this heaviness in your heart. It's like there's a different persona that you show to others outside, and there's a different persona that exists in the comfort of your house. And right now there's a lot of sadness within you. There's a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot of unhealed and unprocessed emotions. So need I say more? There's need for healing. You know what to do. If this whole reading resonated, please like, share, follow for more. If you have any questions, as always, comment. If you feel guided to sign up for a shadow work session, link is in my bio. You can sign up for a session there. I love you so incredibly much, and I will see you tomorrow.